30 seconds. That is all it took for the most dominant force in the modern era to be erased from the history books. As the dust settles on Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the wrestling world is paralyzed by one single question: who is under that mask? But while the internet is busy playing detective, scanning frame by frame for tattoos or height differences, it turns out the answer has been sitting behind a mahogany desk in Stamford this whole time. General Manager Adam Pearce just sent a shockwave through the locker room with a cryptic, late-night social media post that confirms the unthinkable. He knows. He knows exactly who destroyed Bron Breakker's WrestleMania dreams. Welcome to Wrestling Apocalypse, and today, we are diving deep into the conspiracy that just turned the 2026 Royal Rumble into a crime scene. Let's set the stage, because what happened at the start of the Men's Rumble was nothing short of a heist. The lights go down, the clock hits 0, and Obafemi, the mountain of a man who has been terrorizing NXT, enters at number 1. He looks like a final boss. Then, the sirens hit. Bron Breakker, the man favored by the oddsmakers to win the whole thing, comes out at number 2. The crowd is ready for an absolute car crash. But before Bron can even touch the ring apron, the shadows strike. A figure in a jet black hoodie and a ballistic mask emerges from the crowd like a ghost. This wasn't just an attack, it was a surgical strike. A superkick that nearly took Bron's head off, followed by a curb stomp on the steel steps that echoed through the entire stadium. The referee hadn't even rung the bell. The hooded figure rolls a limp, unconscious Bron Breakker into the ring. Obafemi doesn't hesitate. He doesn't wait for a fair fight. He grabs the dead weight of the most explosive athlete in WWE and tosses him over the top rope like he's taking out the trash. Total elapsed time? Less than a minute. The favorite is out. The crowd is in a state of stunned, localized silence. And the attacker? He vanished back into the night before security could even reach the barricade. Now, usually, in these whodunit scenarios, the general manager is the most frustrated person in the building. We've seen Adam Pearce stressed before. We've seen him deal with Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and the Wyatt Six. But his reaction this time was different. There was no call for security over the headset. There was no frantic pacing. Pearce stood at the gorilla position with a look of realization and, dare I say, satisfaction. Fast forward to the post-show chaos. While Triple H was giving coy answers about clean curb stomps and hinting at Seth freaking Rollins or Austin Theory, Pearce was seen in a heated, hushed conversation with Paul Heyman. Now, remember the context here. Just 2 weeks ago, Pearce was forced to lift Bron Breakker's suspension. He was forced to apologize to Bron on global television after things got physical between them. Pearce looked humiliated. He looked like a man who had lost control of his own show to the Vision stable. But then came the tweet. At 3 a.m., Pearce posted a simple image of a signed contract with the caption, "I told you I'd handle the security risk. I know exactly who I hired." Hired? That word is the smoking gun. This wasn't a random run-in. This was a sanctioned hit. Adam Pearce, the man who is supposed to be the voice of reason and corporate stability, just admitted to orchestrating the most controversial elimination in Royal Rumble history. He didn't just know the attacker, he brought them in. So, who fits the profile? The rumors are already reaching a fever pitch. If you look at the footage, the execution of that curb stomp was terrifyingly familiar. Triple H himself pointed it out. Is it possible that Seth Rollins, who has been sidelined and seemingly at odds with the current direction of the company, made a secret pact with management to take out the biggest threat to the status quo? Or are we looking at something even more calculated? Think about the history of Adam Pearce. He's a scrap iron veteran. He knows the wrestlers who operate in the shadows. There are whispers that this could be the return of a restructured Retribution, or perhaps a singular mercenary like a returning Matt Cardona, or even a debuting powerhouse from the international scene that Pearce has been scouting to act as his personal enforcer. But the most poetic, and frankly terrifying, theory is that Pearce has reconciled with the one man who hates Bron Breakker more than anyone else, CM Punk. We know the history between the visionary and the best in the world. If Pearce wanted to ensure Bron Breakker never saw the main event of WrestleMania 42, who better to hire than the man who thrives on burning down the house? The fallout from this is going to be nuclear. Bron Breakker is not a man who takes things lying down. When he finds out that his own general manager was the one who pulled the strings, the WWE headquarters in Stamford might actually be in physical danger. We are looking at a man versus the Machine storyline that makes Stone Cold and Vince McMahon look like a tea party. Pearce has traded his clipboard for a target on his back, and he seems to be enjoying it. This changes the entire complexion of the road to WrestleMania. While Roman Reigns is celebrating his historic victory and eyeing his 11th main event, the shadow of the masked man looms over everything. Is this masked attacker now a permanent fixture of Pearce's administration? Is the GM building his own vision to counter Paul Heyman's? The stakes have never been higher. We are seeing a shift in power where the people in suits are tired of being bullied by the people in boots. If Pearce is willing to sabotage the Royal Rumble to get his point across, what is he going to do at Elimination Chamber? What happens when Bron Breakker finally corners the man in the mask and pulls it off? One thing is for certain, the original tribal chief might have won the match, but Adam Pearce just won the war for control. The apocalypse isn't just coming for the wrestlers, it's coming from the front office. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Adam Pearce was right to take matters into his own hands? Is the masked man Seth Rollins, or are we looking at a complete shocker like Chris Jericho or a returning legend? Drop your theories in the comments below. I'm going to be looking for the most creative answers to feature in our next update. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on every twist and turn on the road to Las Vegas, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You don't want to be the last one to know when the mask finally comes off.